Hey guys, it's Spaces Sims, and welcome back to the second part of our Saintess of the Golden Bow demo that we should probably be wrapping up in this part because, again, the demo is about an hour and a half or so, and we did about an hour last time. Obviously, I read the stuff in the beginning about the game and everything, so we probably have like a full hour to finish it up, I would guess. In this one, But anyway, hopefully sound and everything is good because I did have to adjust my sound settings in my recording software for a bunch of other stuff I did. So then I'm like, I don't remember what I had it on for this one, if I had it any different than my typical Otome games and stuff like that. But hopefully it'll be okay and you'll be able to hear if we get more CGs that are voiced and stuff like that. But anyway, um, right, we got picked by the bow at the end of the last part, so. I feel so groggy. I'm in the guest room of the apartment that was assigned to our family when we first arrived at the palace for the ceremony. The impersonal decor makes the place feel cold and unwelcoming. I know the room's supposed to look grand and elegant, but I don't feel at home here at all. Right, what voice? I re- there you go. There's the music kicking in. Okay. Um, right. I recorded the last part on a Friday and now it's a Monday and I don't usually record other. I was like, okay, maybe I didn't have time to do it over the weekend, so um it's been a few days for I was so hungry like after finishing the first part. I was going to do the whole thing and then I was like, ah, it'll be fine. I should have. But anyway, um right, we gave him the accent. Lady Celeste can't be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. The role's too dangerous for her. I turned my head to the left. Levy and Iridice stand by the door. Neither of them notice I'm awake. Just imagining her going on the dangerous quest to defeat the Demon Queen makes me terrified for her life. We have to stop the Church and Empress from declaring her to be the Saintess. Levy, it's not for us to decide who the Saintess is. Neither is it the choice of the Church or the Empress. It's the God of Light who singled out Celeste to be the savior of her empire. I don't remember if that was her voice, but it is now, guys. Listen, it is what it is. This must be some kind of mistake. Livy, you're committing blasphemy here. You can't go against the God's wishes. Or God's wishes, just, okay. Look, Lady Celeste is... Look, I know you're worried for my sister, but please mind your words. If someone other than me hears your opinion about God's choice, you may get in trouble. So I really am the Saintess of the Golden Bow? I speak up, not believing my own words. Levy and Iridice turn to me. Iridice runs up to the bed and takes my hand in hers. Celeste, you're awake! How are you feeling? Fine, I think. Just a bit tired. You really scared us in the chapel. You screamed like someone was tearing you apart. The light of the bow entering my body felt like it was burning me. All right, okay, she did have, like, that reaction. Okay, I remember that. That sounds horrible. Tears welled up in Iridice's eyes. I squeezed her hand, trying to comfort her. Is it Iridice? Iridice? Oh god, now I can't remember. Anyway, I glanced behind her to where Levy still stands by the door. I can't read, we know this. He has a defeated look on his face. When he notices me watching him, he finally approaches the bed, standing behind Iridice. I can't be the Saintess. It was supposed to... I cut myself off when I realized I almost just said that Levy was supposed to be chosen as the saint. I can't tell them what happens in the book. They don't even know they live in a fictional world. Is it fictional now that we're in it? You know what I mean? Like, when did it stop being fiction? When you're sitting and you're reading a book or whatever, it's fiction. But like, when you get isekai'd into it, does it stop being fiction at that point? Don't you bite my neck, bird. You be nice. For some inexplicable reason, the Golden Bow, or the God of Light himself, has chosen me instead of the savior of the Lokari Empire. Why me? 'Cause you came here, you didn't die, and you fucked shit up. That's what happens. Listen, if I got isekai'd into a world and I was supposed to die, I'd be like, hell no, I'd be fucking shit up too. I ponder out loud. I'm so confused. I don't want to be the Saintess. Why has the story suddenly changed so much? I only did my best to survive. Did the fact that I wasn't slain by the demon really create such a severe butterfly effect? Or had I already been chosen at the moment of my reincarnation? I remember the angelic voice of the bow sounding just like the voice I had heard after dying in the accident as Celine. I'm sure he'll do fine. You're excellent in archery. Eurydice smiles through her tears, trying to reassure me. I'm not as confident about my fighting skills as Eurydice is. Celeste may have been good at the bow, but I can't access her full abilities. Judging by my handwriting, I can only manage the bare minimum of what she could do. I'm not proficient in any of her skills. I only know how to use the bow somewhat from my experience as Celine in middle school. Oh, this whole situation is so depressing. And stressing. No, I mustn't lose heart. I have to stay strong and face my fate head on. What's going to happen to me now? The Empress has summoned you for an audience 3 hours from now. What does the Empress want with me? Eurydice wipes away her tears. She didn't say, but we think she intends to personally congratulate you on your new role. All right. I suppose I should start getting ready then. First, High Priest Elijah requested to check on you as soon as you woke up. Check on me? With his light magic, he wants to see if your body and mind are all right after being touched by God's grace. I'm just saying, it should be. Otherwise, God's grace should be on trial for touching me when I didn't ask for it. Just kidding. I'm feeling okay, but I suppose I shouldn't turn away a member of the church. Not complying with their wishes might be dangerous now that I'm somewhat part of their organization. The reality is so overwhelming that I'd really prefer to be alone now, but there's no time for me to mull over what's happened. The chance to break down will come later, after everyone goes to sleep. Okay, you can tell High Priest I'll see him. I'll go bring him here. Levy turns around and walks out of the room in long strides. Eurydice gives me a comforting smile. Everything's gonna be okay. I hope so too. Silence falls between us, but it's a cozy, warm kind of quiet. I get the feeling that no matter what happens, Eurydice will support me. Well, she's your twin and she's sweet as shit, so I hope so. I envy Celeste for having such a great sister and friend. Well, she's your sister and friend now. I should use this opportunity to ask Eurydice some questions about my situation. I'll just have to be careful about how I broach the topics. Choices? I don't want to reveal my jumbled knowledge about the world. Yeah, what does it mean to have the role of Saintess? Wow. How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? What do we know about the Demon Queen? Those are all the questions I have right now. So I'm going to guess, like before when we were writing stuff down, that we go through all of these. I like the way they did that. I was thinking about that after I recorded the part, like going through and explaining what boy love is and what a webtoon is and a web and all of that, because like if you don't know or you haven't been exposed to those things, it kind of like gives you a little more background on those without just it's a really interactive way of doing it by clicking the questions and being like, okay, so that if you know, you don't have to, you're like, yeah, I don't have, you can just skip, you don't have to go through it. But they're short and sweet, so there's no reason not to. But I just like that. So instead of like just assuming or having her just expound on it and be like, okay, I'm just going to explain it. It's like they give you little questions. All right, what do I want to write down? Okay, let me write this down. Okay, let me write this down. And it's like you're acting like her thought process, So, and the same with this, we're getting the background for the game by like just casually talking to Eurydice, and at least it's an interactive way of doing it, We'll just start at the top. What exactly does it mean to have the role of the Saintess? The Saintess is the fourth most important person in the Lucari Empire, after the Empress, her Emperor Consort, and the Crown Prince. You're on par with the head of the church, the High Priest. Am I part of the church now? You're not a priest or a priestess, if that's what you're asking. You're still a noble, so you can marry someone of noble standing if you'd like. You're not sworn like the clergy to only marry within the church. That's going to be hard when you romance in the high priest at some point in this game. That makes that route sound interesting, though. Like, more so, you know what I mean? You're like, oh, there's going to be some interesting dilemmas there. I remember this subplot regarding Elijah. He wouldn't be able to be with Levi because Elijah is only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. Forbidden love, a popular trope. Oh, that's true. We did explain that he was the like in the love triangle. Right. So that but he's only allowed to marry someone from the priesthood. I mean, like, but I'm assuming in the priesthood is also priestesses. So that's you would just be that's part of the priesthood. Because otherwise it's like, well, I mean, now you're just saying that he can't be anything but gay. Marriage. That feels so far away. She's like, are you crazy? You're well past you're like 20. You're about ready to die soon. As we've learned from every other game in the world. We're playing Verche in tandem with this, so you know. We're 18 now, so father will probably help us find suitable suitors soon. Suitable suitors soon. Oh, I love it when there's alliteration. It's fun. I'd like to marry for love, if at all possible. Okay, sorry. I was like a couple of minutes. I've read some of this already. I just noticed as I was playing, I touched my headset cord, and at some point, for some reason, my microphone jack, my came out of my the microphone came out of the jack, and so it was like crackly and weird. So I think we're fine up to this point. But I have recorded a little bit extra, but I had to go back, reload, get to this point, and we're just gonna redo it because like there was nothing. So I am sorry for my failure to do things. But anyway, so we were on this line. Love. Love was one of the components needed to defeat the Demon Queen. Levy and Noah's love. Would I have to fall in love with someone now that I was the Saintess? I hope I'll have enough time if that's really necessary. I'm not someone who falls in love easily. Do you have someone in mind for marriage? What? Uh, maybe? You can tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody. I think my original remark on this was I really hope that, our sister is not in love with one of our boyfriends, because I don't want to step on her toes like that. Maybe another time. I'm not ready to admit it myself. I chuckle. Paradise is adorable when she's shy. And then, okay. How long has the Empire waited for the Saintess? As the High Priest said, the Golden Bow was created by the blessed blacksmith 20 years ago, before we were even born. They say he worked tirelessly day and night for 2 weeks to create the artifact. The design was bestowed upon him by the God of Light himself. The blessed blacksmith said God told him in a dream that the Golden Bow will choose its saint when the time is right. Only the saint can wield the weapon and harness its power. What Eridice tells me aligns with the backstory I already know from the novel, but it's good to be reminded about the details. I listen intently. What kind of power does the Golden Bow have? Light-aligned magic, the kind that the priests wield. It said that only an arrow shot from the artifact will be able to kill the Demon Queen. The usual fantasy world MacGuffin, then. For plot reasons, other weapons can't harm the ultimate boss. Right, makes sense. It doesn't, but Iridice doesn't seem to be aware of how ridiculous it is that only one weapon, wielded by one special person, can kill the enemy that the Empire's been fighting against for decades. After the Golden Bow is created, the whole Lokari Empire and our allied kingdom of Durandal were tested to see if the saint was among them. But the savior wasn't found. Later, it was decided that every person would get tested on their 18th birthday, as suggested by the blessed blacksmith. 20 years passed, but the saint still wasn't found. Until now. It feels so random that I was actually chosen as the Saintess. But it's my reality now. This world seems to operate on book logic anyway. What do we know about the Demon Queen? The people who have seen her say she looks like a beautiful woman, except she also has horns, a tail, and a third eye on her forehead. But she's far from human. She's cruel and dangerous. She kills humans without mercy. She commands an army of demons, vile monstrosities. You saw one. Was it as ugly as they say? The imp wasn't pretty, that's for sure. He wasn't that ugly. He was cute in an ugly kind of way. You know? Like one of those things you're like, it's so creepy, but it's still kind of... I don't know. Maybe it's just me. The war's been going on for 23 years now. Over that time, a third of Lokari Empire's lands to the east have been ravaged by war and infiltrated by the demons. They leave only ruins behind when they take over a town. Their fire is said to be ever burning. Also, if there was, before I started back up on this section, if there was a little bit that was crackly for a hot second there, I'm sorry. I thought I went back and I was like, okay, I can hear that, like the line before it sounded fine, but I didn't like check every single thing before it, so hopefully it's okay. You'll have to travel east to defeat the Demon Queen. She's taken up residence in the Clowmond Castle. It used to be the seat of Duke Clowman and his family, but they had to abandon their homeland to the demons 10 years ago. That news doesn't make me want to go to the border at all. It'll be like walking straight into the maws of the enemy. I fear you won't have a choice in the matter. The Empress decreed long ago that once the Saint or Saintess was found, they'd immediately embark on the quest to defeat the Demon Queen with a party of the most capable fighters. A quest, huh? Sounds like a story from a role-playing game. Not that I expect anything else from this book world. Levy went on this quest as the Saint, after all. I just hope you won't have to leave too soon. I think I'll need some time to learn to wield the golden bow and to accept the whole situation. I'm sure the Empress will understand. Will she, though? We'll find out, maybe. Those are all the questions I have for now, at least. Thank you for helping me sort through everything, sister. Eridice gives me a bright smile. That's what I'm here for. One thing's certain, the people of the Lokari Empire have been waiting for the Saintess for ages. A lot of faith will be put into your abilities. A lot will be expected from you. I don't envy you. If I could, I would share this burden with you. Thank you. I'm really moved by Iridice's dedication to me. There's a knock on the door, then Levy's voice can be heard from the other side. High Priest Elijah and Count... I'm going to call him Daiquiri have arrived. I don't know how to pronounce our last name, guys. I really don't. They can enter. Elijah comes into the room, followed by Father. Levy closes the door behind them, remaining in the living room of our apartment to guard the entrance. The high priest bears a friendly smile. Father, on the other hand, wears his usual scowl on his face. This is about where we were when I noticed, so, like, see, we didn't lose too much. Not that we lost anything, I redid it, but, you know. And I think the only other remark that I can remember making is, like, look at him, look at all being bright and goofy over here. He seems like he wants to say something. I give him an inquiring look, which is met with a glare. I don't know if I should laugh or cry at the fact that his disposition towards Celeste hasn't changed, even in the middle of such a life-changing situation. Well, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He could just be an asshole father. We don't know yet, okay? But he could also be glaring and scowling because maybe that's just the only way he can deal with the fact that, like, his daughter is gonna have to, like, go off and save the world. And he's like, that's not what I wanted for you. You know what I mean? So, like, maybe he just doesn't know how to deal with his emotions. You know, we don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. We'll be fair. What does Celeste have to do for her father to show her affection? If I had any hope that he would be proud of me now that I had suddenly advanced to a great position in the hierarchy of the Empire, it evaporates now. I decided not to say anything to Father while Elijah's around. I don't want him to witness a fight between us, and I doubt I can hold my tongue right now. May I sit beside you? Sure. Elijah approaches and sits beside me on the bed. I need to touch you to make sure you're healthy. Is that all right? Consent. Good for you. Is that how light magic works? As someone who reincarnated here from Earth, I have little knowledge about magic. I don't remember a scene like this one with the high priest in the book. Come to think of it, Levy didn't faint after touching the golden bow. He must have a much stronger resistance to pain than I do. Celeste doesn't know much about magic either. She has no magical powers of her own, after all. Nobody in the... Is it the Decaries? Decaries? Is that what it is? Decaris? Maybe it's Decaris or Decaries. Why did that just click suddenly? And that might not be right, but that could be. I don't know. Anyway, family does. If Elijah says he has to touch me for his magic to work, though, I doubt he's lying. I look at him. He stares back at me with a patient smile. The high priest is really attractive. I never thought I'd find a guy with pink hair dashing, but he must have the longest lashes I've ever seen on a man. What you got against pink hair, girl? I blush, realizing I'm checking Elijah out. And especially when you know the way the book goes and you're like, girl, you don't know that I'm guessing he's a little bisexual if, like, we're going to be his love interest now. But for the book, you're thinking he's in love with Levy, so you shouldn't be checking him out. Boundaries. Like, it's kind of funny because she's like, I shouldn't be checking him out. Like, he's in love with men. Well, apparently he's just in love with whoever wields the bow, so he's a bowsexual? I get it. Suit sexual. If you put any, it doesn't matter who you put in a suit. Kind of into it. I don't know. Look, suits are hot, okay? He's a priest, for heaven's sake. Well, that too. Eridice just reminded me that he can only marry within the clergy. He's off limits. Besides, he only wants to touch me to make sure I'm okay. I thought that was to say he only wants to touch men for a minute because, like, he falls in love with Levy, but like in the book she's used to reading. Stupid hormones. Stupid beautiful eyelashes. That's what gets you. I clear my throat, though I can do nothing to stop my cheeks from burning. All right, go ahead. Aw, you're a little blush. It's cute. Oh, oh, now we get another CG of him. Okay. All right, so we'll probably get voices, so we'll see if it's loud enough, hopefully. Elijah surprises me by leaning his forehead against mine. Before I can protest, an aura of white surrounds his body. He's really working his magic on me. Like, literally and figuratively. I close my eyes and focus on how his magic makes me feel. His touch is pleasant and warm. I become strangely comforted. Before I realize what I'm doing, I lean in closer toward him. Girl, don't try to kiss him. Elijah's chuckle makes me snap out of the comforting embrace of his magic. There's a twinkle in his eye and a confident smirk on his face. Is he flirting with me? Maybe. Embarrassed, I pull away. Lady Celeste is healthy. I can also confirm that the Golden Bow's magic has entered her body. She's the Saintess. I just love how happy he looks all the time. Father lets out a heavy sigh. I hope you won't embarrass me. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but don't be a dick, man. I glare at him, pursing my lips. I want to call him out on his unkind behavior, but I stop myself. You don't know. You don't know how the game's going to go. Like, he could always just be, like, grouchy douche dad, or he could, like, just be like, I don't know how to deal with you not being a normal princessy girl. Like, my sister is just, like, sweet and girly. He doesn't know how to deal with that. But also, then all this, and, like, I could see him being like, now you're gonna be all mad, don't disappoint me, even though inside he's like, don't die, oh my god, I'd cry. But he doesn't know how to process emotions. You don't know, he just might not be an emotional person and he doesn't know how to deal with them. So, like, maybe when we come back, like, after killing the Demon Queen, which I would assume happens in at least one of the good endings, right? Maybe he's gonna be like, and then he's gonna break down, and then we're gonna be like, oh, he just didn't know how to deal with emotions. You don't know. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just saying. You know? I turned back to Elijah instead. Did I just read that? I glared in person. Oh, yeah, okay, I did. Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you for the checkup. You're welcome. Only 2 hours remain now until Celeste is to attend the audience with the Empress. Yes. We should go and let Sister prepare for seeing the Empress. I want to keep talking with Elijah. If anyone could explain to me more about the Golden Bow's magic, it's him. Unfortunately, now's not the right time. Father rings the bell. A moment later, Linda appears in the doorway. Make Celeste presentable for meeting the Empress and Emperor Consort. Yes, my lord. Everyone says their goodbyes to me, and they leave me alone with my maid. I don't remember the voice we gave Linda, because she had like one line, but... I follow a step behind Father. We walk through the corridors of the palace to the throne room where the Empress and Emperor Consort are waiting for us. Well, yes, we know we have to get the scene because we have to meet Noah because he's like the prince, right? So he's the mad prince, the mad prince. As I watch Father's back, I feel Celeste's resentment for him resurface. No, resentment isn't the strong enough term to describe her feelings. Celeste hates her father. Not without reason either. What he's done to her over the years is something I can only describe as pure abuse. He's belittled her constantly, both in public and in private. Okay, well, this is leaning more toward Daddy as a douchebag. So, like, okay, fair enough. But maybe we don't, you still don't know, is he going to still be a jackass at the end, or is he going to like snap and realize he's been a jackass and like turn over a new leaf and be better? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know if he's going to have character growth. His favorite title for her is his no good daughter. He's always made her feel like she's less than Eridice, unworthy of his praise. The only time he ever pulls his attention away from Eridice is when Celeste misbehaves. Celeste's mother died when the two girls were young. Celeste has no memories of her and no one to shield her from her father's wrath. Maybe that situation is why Celeste is always out hunting or horseback riding, taking herself far away from father and her duties as a noble lady. And Levy, he's watched Celine suffer at father's hand. I have a memory of him standing up for his love and father having him flogged for it. After that, after that event, Celeste forbade her knight to ever act in her defense. I can read, I swear. After that, after that event, God. It's not the game, it's me. I can't read right now. After that event, Celeste forbade her knight to ever act in her defense again in front of her father. Levy protested, but Celeste insisted, using her authority as his noble lady to make him agree. In the years that followed, they both suffered. Celeste from her father's abuse, and Levy watching his love in pain. How could I not hate Celeste's father for his disgusting behavior? A pang of loneliness shoots. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but this isn't helping. So it's like, okay, all right, never mind. He is just an ass. But maybe he'll grow. You don't know. We don't know. We're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna get our man harem and kill a demon queen, and maybe he'll like wise up. Or no, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. A pang of loneliness shoots through my heart. My parents never abused me, but I wasn't from a picture-perfect family either. There were a lot of fighting between mom and dad before they finally divorced. I was 14 when they parted ways, and I had a lot of trouble accepting that the situation wasn't my fault. I tried to help them fix their broken relationship before the divorce, but they didn't believe their marriage was worth saving. Eventually, everything fell apart regardless of my efforts. Ever since then, I've had trouble trusting anybody enough to fall in love. Oh, but you're gonna have all these beautiful boys to come and help you. I had a boyfriend in high school, but he broke up with me because I was too cold and emotionless toward him. His exact words. At the time, I just didn't know how to show love or if I should even be open about my deep feelings for him at that early stage of our relationship. Both Celeste and Celine have their own baggage. Still, I was finding it very hard not to talk back to father whenever he was rude to me. Celeste had long since given up on their relationship and simply chose to ignore his outbursts, but letting someone belittle me wasn't my style. I realized father had stopped walking when I almost bumped into him, stopping just in time to avoid the collision. High Priest Elijah. Hello again, Saintess. Count Decaries? Is that what we're saying? Decaris? Anyway. Elijah nods at us with a soft smile, ignoring Levy's presence, of course. Knights in the Lokari Empire are just guards to their nobles. You're ignoring his presence, friend. Listen, I know it's not a boy love game now, but now you're still just like, well, we could ship them in the original web. Wait, if that's the way it went, I'm just, you're not helping my Delulu where I'm just like shipping characters together with themselves instead of me, but also me, Elijah doesn't think much about Levy in this reality. Levy isn't the saint, after all. I decided to join you during the audience. We're happy to have you. Are you ready to enter? I'm not, but then again, I'm not sure if I ever will be. Father nods in response to Elijah's words before I can protest. Let's enter. The guards in the front of the throne room entrance open the door, and Father and Elijah enter the hall. I turn to Levy. Now more than ever, I need the support of someone who I know cares for me. Even if Levy won't be allowed to say anything during the audience, I want him present at my side. Come in with me. You'll only be able to stay by the door, but I want you to be there for this conversation. Oh, all right. I enter the throne room as well now, Levy following behind me. The Empress is sitting on her throne, and the Emperor Consort is lounging in the smaller chair next to her. I wonder if it's because I have, like, the texts to skip fast, but I've noticed that when we're skipping scenes, that it jumps really fast. I don't know if that's based on how fast I have the text, like, preferences for, like loading text speed. You know what I mean? Like if I put it down a little bit, if that'll change it. Um, because I don't think we have anything else. I've noticed that like a slightly softer transition would be nice, but it might be it's tied to the text, so it's like just if you have the text going a little bit slower, then maybe the transition will be a little slower. That's the only thing so far I've noticed. I didn't notice it in the last part, but I'm noticing in this one, like the last two, like Linda was there and then bam, we're in the hall, and then bam, we're in here, and it's like, okay, it's transitioning a little fat. Like I think like a fade out and then a fade back in or something, like a slower fade would be better. But again, it could be tied to the text speed, and that could be on me. Like if you had slower text speed, it transitions a little more smoothly, you know? Um, Not a huge deal, but that's the only thing I've noticed, you know what I mean? Like it's the only thing I'm like, I noticed that, and that's a little jarring for me personally, but I mean, jarring's not the right word. It's like, like a nice, like a slower transition would be nicer, but not a huge issue or anything, and it doesn't make like the game unplayable or anything. It's just a nice to have kind of thing. But anyway, the Empress is sitting on her throne, and the Emperor Consort is lounging in the smaller chair next to her. The Empress Mirelle is radiant in person as she is in Celeste's memories. Wearing a golden gown, she's the son of the Lucari Empire. Well, I mean, yeah, her dress is pretty. Her husband, Emperor Consort Lucius, comes from our allied country, Durandal. He's called the Moon of the Lucari Empire. When the Empress sees us approach, she gives us a bright smile. She looks like she's about to eat me, okay? She, like, at last, the prophesied Saintess stands before me in the flesh. I smile and make my best attempt at curtsy, following Celeste's memory. The wince on Father's face tells me I failed to move properly. For some reason, I find his expression funny. I cover my mouth so that nobody sees the smirk on my face. If I embarrass Father in front of the Empress, I can't say it wouldn't be enjoyable. Father and Elijah make smooth bows. Thank you for the chance to have an audience with you, Your Grace. Grace to be in your presence again, O radiant lady. Of course, how could I not gaze upon the chosen heroine with my own eyes? The Empire has been waiting for her for over 20 years. Although I'm surprised your daughter is the one who turned out to be the Saintess, Count Alaric. A nervous chuckle escapes Father's lips. Her shock face. She's always been good with the bow. So I've heard. Your daughter doesn't act much like a noble lady, does she? She does have a reputation for enjoying quite boyish activities. Maybe that's why all the boys are going to fall in love with me in this boy love world. Because, like, I'm a little, I like boyish activities. You know? But also, you know, you know, activities and clothing are not inherently masculine or feminine. I know I'm not making like the people in this world just like hunting is not inherently it doesn't have to be masculine. Women can hunt and men can wear pretty dresses. I'd like to see our father wear a pretty ball gown. That'll never happen. That's that's what she's thinking in her head. She's like, whatever. Just because I like riding horses. 'Cause women ride horses too, queen lady, geez. Father's face turns beet red. He's embarrassed because of me. Maybe I should have been your son. You don't know. You don't know what's going on. I realize I shouldn't let myself be too happy about the situation, though. There's too much at stake. I can't ignore the fact that as the Saintess, I have an important role to uphold in the Lucari Empire. As Eridice explained to me, I'm the fourth most important person in the hierarchy now. Also, like, you should be glad that I have as what they're calling like boyish activities because, to them, like, what if my sister all of a sudden was a Saintess? Well, she doesn't. Okay, I mean, like, we don't remember how to use a bow, but like, but like, Eridice isn't gonna like, she doesn't have bow skills, horseback riding skills. She'd be like at a loss. She'd probably get herself killed. So you'd be like, good for that! Yay! A proper noble lady out there. No, you should be lucky it's me. I mean, Levy would have been a better choice, sure, not the point of the game, but like in the scheme of the world here, right? The world building. They should be happy that a noble lady who has manly activities is the one that's going to be out there kicking the ass of the Demon Queen. So they're going to respect me by the end of this. And then you're going to be like, damn, you're going to wish you went hunting, huh, Queen? Empress, whatever. You know? No, but it's all good. Okay. No pressure. It seems the Empress finds me lacking as well, and having her, out of all people, displeased with me isn't good. I remember Noah's plotline from the novel. The Empress sends him on the quest with Levy to defeat the Demon Queen, even though Noah's the heir to the throne. Well, I was expecting him to pop up. Or so he should be, being Empress Morelle's firstborn. However, the monarch is a very controlling person. She doesn't want to give up the power of her throne to anybody, so she hopes to continue ruling through her child once she abdicates. Due to the law of the Lokari Empire, a person can only rule for 40 years before they have to pass on the role to another. The Empress is aging, but based on what I know from the novel, her hunger for power over the years has only grown. She wants to keep her influence over the politics of the Empire. However, Noah, her heir, isn't someone who can be easily controlled, right? No, because he's mad. The Empress's secret second son, however, 10-year-old Matteo, who she's raised to be completely obedient and reliant on her own opinions. She only sends Noah on the mission because she hopes he'll die so she can establish Matteo as her new heir. That's what I was wondering when she's like, she has a secret second son, and I was like, is she hoping Noah dies? All right, yeah, all right, okay. I see you, girl. Cruel. She can't pronounce someone else the crown prince until Noah's gone. Man, the dramatics! The family dramatics! They did good with building some family dramatics in here. Someone as ruthless as the Empress is definitely not a good enemy to have. It also is a very good, like, backstory to have to say, like, why the prince comes with us and why he's so angry. I'm assuming mad is not, he's, like, mad scientist crazy. He's just mad angry because probably his mother's trying to control him. He's got a secret stepbrother, a secret second son. It can't be that secret. Somebody would have seen you pregnant. Somebody knows about him. How is he I mean, consort over here having a secret kid. Yeah, it makes sense. But like the queen had it. Anyway, not the point. But you know what I mean? Like, and then he's sent on this mission and he's all bitter and crabby. Sure, probably knows his mother's trying to kill him. Probably smart enough to figure that out. So, like, but damn, I mean, you could have been like, we're going to send the prince because that looks good for us, but you wouldn't want to send your only son who is the prince who's going to take over for you. And then you've got nobody in the, you know what I mean? So having the dramatics behind the family is a good excuse to like send him on the mission because we believe in him. And by believe, I believe he'll die. Like, crazy, crazy lady. Okay. Anyway, someone as ruthless as the Empress is definitely not a good enemy to have. It's known that Count de Caries has two daughters. The one who's a perfect image of a noble lady and the one who's a tomboy. Again, you say that like it's a bad thing. Oh, that's Emperor Lucius. Sorry, I read that like her. I'm sorry. I suppose the girl that stands before us, although dressed in finery, is not much of a proper noble. Hey, don't you be judging me either, Smoke Show. Like, look at him. Silver Fox over here. Silence falls in the room. Everyone looks at me, expecting me to answer. Under the sudden attention, my mouth is dry and I can't find my words. They don't know much about Celeste, but rumors precede her. They've already judged her. Me. Why did I think I'd suddenly gain respect by being the Saintess when Celeste's questionable reputation has been spreading for years? In a sense, it's good that everyone expects Celeste to be quite lousy at etiquette. At etiquette? Wow, I know how to say the word etiquette. What the hell just happened there? After all, I have no idea how to curtsy or properly use utensils or dance like a graceful noble lady. Since Celeste's skills didn't directly transfer to me, if she really had been a perfect lady, I would have suddenly looked like an imposter. Still, I don't want the Empress to think I'm worthless as a Saintess, too. If she deems me inadequate like Father does, will she try to get rid of me so the Golden Bow can choose another saint? That could take another 20 some odd years. Does that seem like a wise idea? Doesn't seem like a good return on investment. I don't think she's a very forgiving personality, judging by how much she hates her own son. We have that in common, though. He's got mommy issues, I've got daddy issues. That's a bonding right there. Just when I gather my words to speak, the door opens to the door the door to the throne room bursts open. I can read. There he is. There he is. And it's a CG. Okay. A well-posed, tall blond man enters the room in a dramatic fashion, his cloak waving behind him in the sudden draft of air. He's Noah, Levy's love interest in the book, but mine in the game. Like, the dramatic flare of the cape is a nice touch. He's one of the most handsome guys I've ever seen, next to Levy and Elijah. Sorry, I love her. He's one of the hottest guys. I mean, next to those two. And then you're going to meet you're going to meet George, be like, he's one of there's like the four hottest guys. And they're I love it. That's what we want. That's what you want out of your man harem. You want to think they're the hottest guys, right? So good for her. Oh, his skin's darker than most Lokari Empire nobles, but only slightly. Noah's of mixed race. The current emperor consort's not Noah's father, but the previous consort was from our allied country Durandal, which happens to be in the south. So, okay, all right. The Durandi, are known for having darker complexions. Noah inherited most of his features from the Empress, though. When he spots me, a smirk appears on his face. His red eyes shine with mischief. The attitude. All right. I was expecting with Mad like he was gonna have an attitude and like Red with attitude. All right. DeQueris. Okay, DeQueris. He said DeQueris. Okay. I hope I could groan. Even no one knows about Celeste's reputation. Although he said adequate, but it's all right. That took me out a little. I'm sorry. Listen, I didn't play this before. I didn't know he was gonna say adequate when I read it wrong and said adequate. Oh, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, honey. Oh, you shouldn't be making fun of me for being a tomboy if you can't say etiquette. Sorry. It's just so funny that I read it that way and I was like, where did that come from? And then he says, that's a weird parallel right there. Probably not as good as Celeste was, though, I presume, judging by her renowned reputation. At least I'm still good enough to shoot arrows with decent accuracy. I just need to practice a bit more and remember everything I learned in middle school. Ow, don't bite me, bird. Okay, I'm gonna say he's earning the paycheck, this VA. Like, okay. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. I was never gonna say it. I am a VA. I'm like a voice acting snob. I like Japanese voice acting. I do not watch anime or anything dubbed. Like, I will not do it. I will not do it. Okay. So, like, when indie games and stuff are like, they have voice acting, it's not usually my thing because I'm like, it's just a personal preference. But he's making like, he's working it. This is actually entertaining as shit. He is putting the sass in this, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like, this is good. Yeah, okay. All right. Good times. I appreciate the sass and the spice and the perfect and the just the flair. Ah, good. Okay. All right. All right. Noah's working it. Morel's pretty good too. Jest. So simple. She sounds so sus when she says that. That's a lie. With the army off fighting at the war front, the Empress feels more secure in her rule here in the capital. Do you question God's will, Empress? It is the Lord who has chosen Lady Celeste to be the Saintess of the Golden Bow. While Celeste may be lacking in some other areas, she asserts she's great at archery, and her reputation confirms her words. Right, Mother, so you shouldn't worry. What did we say? It was DeQueries? That's how he was pronouncing it? Well, anyway. Lady, whatever. Okay, we'll make an excellent Saintess. I wish I could share the faith these two have in me. Still, I have to maintain a confident front, so I put on my brightest smile. I don't know if Noah has confidence in you or just sarcasm. He's just like, yeah, she'll be excellent. Like, whatever. Does he have confidence in you? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I think he's being a little sarcastic, but we'll take it. Listen, I'll take it. Please don't worry about anything, Your Grace. I'll defeat the Demon Queen and bring peace to the Empire. Empress Morale gives me a long look. After a moment, the confident smirk that Noah inherited from her is back on her face. Excellent! Then there's nothing stopping us from proceeding with the mission to defeat the Demon Queen, is there? Noah, you'll be the one leading the Saintess's quest. Noah's eyes widen. He opens his mouth, then closes it. But You'll lead the Saintess's quest, and you'll take 20 best men from the palace guard, the mage's tower, and the church to accompany you. And you'll leave in a month. In a month? So soon? Shock makes my heart beat erratic. With my current archery skills, I'm nowhere near ready to defeat a powerful enemy so soon. Is there a problem? You said you're great at using a bow, and that's all you need to be a successful Saintess, right? The Empress has really turned the tables on me. I can't deny her words, and neither can Noah. After all, we're the ones who just made those claims to her. He looks like so disappointed in himself right now. I simply thought we'd have more time to prepare. There's no more time, not with the Demon Queen's army closing in more and more on the capital in recent years. I think the Saintess and you are ready enough. But do you question the Empress's judgment? The Emperor and Noah glare at each other. Noah doesn't respond. He finally just turns around and walks toward the door. He made a very dramatic, fun entrance. Noah, you will prepare for the quest and depart in a month. As you wish, Your Grace. If it's not too much to ask, I want to accompany the Saintess and the Prince on their quest. Elijah's request surprises me for a moment, until I remember that he wanted to join the mission when Levi was the saint as well. Are you sure, High Priest? You'll be leaving your office behind for 2 months. Yes, I'm sure. I'll take Gareth with me as well. Meredith can manage running the office on her own. I'll appoint some people to help her with the paperwork. The Saintess's quest will be a historic moment in the life of the Lokari Empire. I wouldn't want to miss witnessing the Saintess defeat the Demon Queen. You're like so happy about this going to war shit, kiddo. He has strange taste. Okay, yeah, right. That's okay. But with Elijah's light magic on our wait. Okay, no, I was reading it wrong. I was like, wait, that's the first time I've noticed a typo. No, I couldn't read. He has strange taste, but with Elijah's light magic, our success will be easier. I don't protest. We'll need all the help we can get. All right, you may go as well. Thank you, Your Grace. I'll organize a ball to celebrate the finding of the Saintess tomorrow evening. Be sure to attend, all of you. We all reply we'll be there, and after some final departing words, we're dismissed. Okay, it's the text speed because I slowed the text speed down and that faded in a little bit better. So it's tied to the text speed. So, and honestly, I had it up fast because I like the text to go faster than I speak. But where I moved it down 2 notches, it flows perfectly, and then you get the nice fading. So there you go. That's a tip if you're playing the game: is that don't have the text speed all the way up because then it just gets a little. So yeah, there you go. Okay, perfect. Perfect way to rectify the only thing I was like, that's questionable. Well, not questionable, but I was like, yeah, that's the only thing that I have I wouldn't even say a complaint. That's my only like constructive feedback, really. You know what I mean? Is like, that goes a little fast. It's tied to the text speed, so fixed it myself. Good. After the audience, I ask everyone to give me some time alone. I'm too overwhelmed by the recent events. I need some time to think. I take a sheet of paper and a quill and begin to scribble down my thoughts. I survived my death event, the demon attack in the woods near the DeCary's mansion, or whatever, however we're supposed to pronounce it. That's why Levy's likely to continue to love Celeste and not become interested in anybody else. Except I'm not really the Celeste he loves. I have her memories and a portion of her skills, but I'm basically Celine in Celeste's body. I'm not just Celeste recollecting a past life. Instead, I, Celine, have taken over Celeste's body at a pivotal moment of her current life. Does that mean Celeste is dead? Maybe she's in your body. I guess the answer to that question doesn't really matter, though the thought of her passing is sad. I'm now the Saintess of the Golden Bow, a hero the whole Lokari Empire has been awaiting for years. Yet Levy was supposed to take on that role. Levy's been training to protect Celeste all his life. He's way more skilled at archery than I am. I have a month to train myself to use a bow properly. Not just any bow, though. The golden bow, which seems more ornamental than practical. Wielding that weapon will be a pain in the ass. What were the two components needed to defeat the Demon Queen again? The first one's firing an arrow imbued with the golden bow's light magic at the Demon Queen's heart and actually hitting the target. So I'll need to practice both archery and accessing the bow's magic. Wow, I can read. As someone who comes from Earth, I have no idea how to wield magic. The very concept of magical power coursing through my body is foreign to me. I suppose training with the bow will just take time, though I have little to spare. As for wielding its magic, that's something Elijah will know more about, given that he's a light magic user. I scribble down that I need to talk to Elijah about the golden bow and its magic. Know thy enemy, they say, and right now my enemy until I master it's that bow. There's also a second component to defeating the Demon Queen, one that follows a story trope more than practical logic. Knowing Levy's love makes the magic of the golden bow stronger. How is that possible? I have no idea. Would knowing Levy being in love now still solve this problem? Regardless, the two of them falling in love's not going to happen now. Levy's still hung up on Celeste. He won't give Noah a second look. Meanwhile, the real Celeste is technically dead. She never returned Levy's feelings anyway, and as for myself, I can't imagine falling in love with someone in a month. Love is such a difficult topic for me. I don't trust or fall in love easily. I'm so screwed! I'm scared. The situation isn't just a story in a book anymore. It's my reality. Levy, Elijah, Noah, Eridice, Father the Empress, they're all real people. They aren't acting according to a script either. The plot of the book has changed. It's a real world now with unpredictable consequences. And I'm at the center of this new story. Levy dies at the end of the book despite defeating the Demon Queen, despite Noah's love for him, but he won't now. Will I die again too? Or will that aspect of the story change as well? No, I can't give up. I must change reality and my fate. It's not like me to mope around and feel defeated. I'm the master of my own destiny. If I have to fall in love with someone, who should it be? Levy, who blindly adores his lady? Noah, who's been burdened with leading the mission to defeat the Demon Queen? Elijah, who's a priest and can't marry someone unless they're part of the church? Or should I pick someone else entirely? We haven't met someone else entirely. I at least have to admit that all three of them are handsome men. I just hope my own baggage isn't going to drag me down too much. Will I turn cold and detached if I enter into a relationship with any of them, just like I did toward my ex-boyfriend? Can someone like me even make a guy fall in love with her within a month? My heart's beating so quickly. Now that I realize what's really at stake and what I have to do, I'm terrified. I lie down in bed and hide my face against a pillow. Tears stream down my cheeks, soaking the material. For the first time since reincarnating, I give in to all the emotions that have built up inside of me. I'm just one young girl. How can I carry so many heavy burdens? Eventually, I cry myself to sleep. I toss and turn all night through, unable to get any real rest until nearly dawn. I'm surprised. I figured that was going to be the end of the demo, but we're still going. Okay. Um, I mean, we had about, I think, 11 or so minutes. I'm not 100% sure where I think we're almost at an hour. I'm really surprised. I knew we'd probably have at least an hour because, like, we had some time, like, going through that. But I figured, I was like, okay, this seems like maybe, I'm just surprised about it. Okay. I mean, we're going to keep going because this should be the end of the demo coming up soon because it's only supposed to be about an hour and a half. Um, so I'd be surprised if we had too much more, but uh the next evening, Linda gets me all dolled up for the grand ball the Empress is throwing in my name. At the ball, I find myself sitting at a table, staring at silverware I have no idea how to properly use. Seriously, fancy tableware settings is like 32 forks and 18 spoons, and you're like, why? Celeste memories aren't helping me much. And you go from the inside out? Is that what it is? You use first, and then you just like. The servant puts a salad in front of me, and I pick up one of the forks. There's an offended gasp from my left. I look at the noble lady sitting next to me. She's offended by what fork I used. She's almost purple in the face, staring down at the fork I'm holding. She's pretty, though. Wrong piece of cutlery, then. I put it down and take another in my hand. I steal a sideways glance at the noble lady. She doesn't seem to be offended anymore. This one must be the right fork, then. When everyone starts eating, I dig into the salad, too, but it tastes like paper to me. I'm nervous. My hands are clammy. This is not a CG, but George is voiced. I mean, George is voiced, but this is not a CG, and there's his voice. That's interesting. I'm wondering if we're supposed to have a CG, but like they just don't have one yet. You know what I mean? Because it's only supposed to be voiced in the CGs, and that came out of nowhere. Like, I was not expecting that. That's what I was wondering, though, when we kept doing the scene. I'm like, do you think George's going to be here so that you can meet your fourth love interest? Because, you know what I mean? That'd be good for the demo. You see all four of your potential love interests. Although, to be fair, he's only in DLC, so, you know. But, like, he's giving you those bedroom eyes, so, like, come on. The man to my right, Duke George, if Celeste's memory serves me correctly, strikes up a conversation with me. He's a young duke and a powerful player on the battlefield of Lucari Empire's politics. We were going to give him the flirty whore voice, but he's got a nice we can't do that. I can't do that. So I'll have to do my best not to say or do anything strange. Maybe he likes strange. We don't know that. I'm very confused because it was okay. So now we're all voiced suddenly. I Again, maybe there's supposed to be a CG that we don't have because this is just like a beta demo, so it's not even released. Like they gave me a special key for it. So it's not like you can go out and get the demo off Steam. You know what I mean? So I'm assuming that there's possibly supposed to be a CG here and that's why it's voiced right now, but okay. All right. Oh, here we go. The accent's nice. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Listen. Listen. Noah came in hot with the sass. George is coming in with the accent. All right, I'm buying it. Listen, I had to specify before that I'm not normally, like, it's just I'm just a snob about it. Okay, like it's just me. It's me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. I noticed when Elijah was reading his first lines in the first CG, like there would be some awkward pauses. And I don't know if that's okay, we do the lines and then the editing, putting them together just was like leaving gaps. But there were just some awkward pauses in the middle of sentences. And I was like, that's a choice. Nothing against the voice acting itself. I just noticed the awkward pauses. You know what I mean? Um, but, but I don't know. Like, Noah and George are impressing me though, and that's saying a lot because again, me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. Like, okay, I am just a snobby asshole. Just straight up, okay? I will not. People come. We're gonna watch. We're not watching anime in English. Get out of here. Like I can't do it. So like you know, but like, but okay, but I will give props. Noah came in hot. Like that's sass. And George could literally probably be deadpan flat and not say anything, but he's got an accent, so it works for me. But I mean, he's read one line so far, like twice, but so far seems fine. He points at my salad. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. What am I doing wrong this time? The Duke smiles, but his expression isn't unkind. He's pretty. Yeah, he's good too. Okay. He extends his hand to me, and when I don't protest, he touches my hand gently to modify the way I'm holding the fork. Okay, Penelope. The lady to my left has a cruel smile on her face. Shoot, I really was eating salad wrong after all. How do you eat salad wrong? Oh no. This is why I can never. My cheeks heat up from embarrassment, and suddenly I find it hard to breathe. For every kind person like Duke George is a cruel one like that lady here. A vulture just waiting for me to make a mistake. Well, yeah, but she's probably also jealous because George is being all nice to you and she's just mad. She hates you because she ain't you. Now that I'm the Saintess, I'll be watched even more closely than Celeste was as a mere count's daughter. They're all going to be laughing for weeks about the way I ate the stupid salad. I just know it. Celeste's memory tells me this incident won't be the first time she's ruined her reputation with a stupid mistake either. Excuse me. I can't be here anymore. I have to get some fresh air or else I'll hyperventilate. I'm just okay, so maybe it was like they had those lines voiced because they were going to introduce the CG at that point, but they didn't. So we just got two extra voice lines. But again, the game itself is not going to be voiced except for on the CGs. So and maybe a couple bonus here and there. I can't do a British accent, guys. So like can I? Not as fancy as his, so like, but anyway, are you okay? I can't be fancy like that. Duke George calls after me, but I walk quickly to the terrace. Once I'm away from the throne room, I run into the gardens. I stop only when I reach a small lake. Here I put my arms around my frame, trying to control my breathing. Breathe, Celine. In and out. In and out. Don't cry, don't cry. You'll ruin the makeup Linda spent hours putting on you to make you look like a real noble lady. Who's saying didn't think I'd run into you? Didn't think I'd run into you here. I turn around when I hear the voice. It's Noah. He's drawn his sword and his usual mocking demeanor is not present. He's completely serious when oh, okay. Interesting. I was like wondering why our sword's drawn and we're pointing it at our necks, sir. All right. He suddenly puts his sword against my throat. She's like, do it. I dare you. This was another CG. There's a lot of them in this, so like props for that. Because like sometimes we play games and we're like, where are the CGs? And this one is like going hard. My heart beats so loudly that it feels like it could just jump out of my chest. This time from fear. Does no one want to kill me? So yes, he does. But why? Suddenly I remember the scene. I fangirled over it when I was reading the novel. This is the scene where Noah puts his sword to Levy's throat. It's overly dramatic, and most of the readers of the novel read it as a romantic interaction. We talked about the event for hours on the web novels forums. But now that I think this setup is just ridiculous, I could take a step back at any time from the coldness of steel and my neck would be safe. I give Noah a long stare. He's looking at me seriously as if he's really pondering if he should harm me. I don't believe he actually will. Also, call his bluff if he does. Whatever, we died once already. I'll entertain his antics for a while longer just to see what he has to say to me. I want to know how much the scene changes with me here instead of Levy. when he thinks so highly of my archery skills, especially considering how little the nobles think of my etiquette skills. But he's wrong. He is really going all out, I have to say. Even though I remember this line from the book, my eyes widen. His words almost feel oddly like foreshadowing for what happens in the book. Noah seems to seriously believe what he's saying. Seriously? Okay. He's really convinced we're gonna die on this quest. I can see the desperation in his eyes. It's very dramatic. I get it, like, Noah's supposed to be dramatic, but I'm just saying, like, he's definitely, like, reading everything very dramatically, and I appreciate it. Oh, Noah, you're closer to the truth than you think. I can't tell him anything about his mother's plan to get rid of him. He would just grow suspicious if I, someone he barely knows, spouted such important information about his life. I should only tell him what's really going on with the Empress when, or if, we become friends during the quest. Friends! Yeah, girl, just friends, okay. Noah's eyes widen. I must also see the mission through until the end. I almost thought of telling you to kill me. I'm sure you'll do great on the. I almost thought of telling you to kill me. Because I did, I was like, I really was like, gonna be like, just be like, do it! Go do it! Come on! I also, she would have been like, just do it because, like, whatever. Like, there was the two sides to that coin. So I literally actually was thinking this. So I'm gonna go with that. Does this mean you don't want to kill me anymore? I almost thought of telling you to do it just to see if you really would. I laugh to lighten the mood, but my voice comes out breathless. I'm still afraid of my future, but at least Noah's distracted me from what happened in the throne room. I wasn't really serious about killing you in the first place. Are you sure? You look plenty serious to me. And despite everything, I don't want you to die. And I want to live too. I'm glad. Don't die, Your Grace. And just Noah is fine. All right, just Noah. I really want her to do that. We're teammates now, I suppose. I like the sound of that. Noah smiles back. He seems much more relaxed now. I'll continue trying to get Mother to delay the deadline for us to leave. I'd appreciate more time to train. Right. Time to get back to the ball, then. Without sparing me another glance, Noah walks past me toward the terrace. I watch him until he disappears between the carefully trimmed bushes of the palace garden. I look out at the water of the lake and take a few deep breaths. I really hadn't expected Levy's scene with Noah to play out for me. I also didn't respond like Levy did. Our encounter didn't turn romantic at all. Yet my heart is beating quickly regardless because I'm still scared about so many things. Stress is catching up to me. I fall to my knees on the soft grass. I can't hold back my tears any longer. In the end, I'm just a girl caught up in so many responsibilities. I'm tired. I'm terrified. I want it all to stop. No matter how much I cry, though, this new reality won't magically change for me. I'm still Celeste, and I'm still the Saintess. The sooner I accept my fate and put my energy into the few things I can still change, the better. With renewed purpose, I get up and start walking back to my room. Screw the ball. I'm not going back there only to be ridiculed further. I don't want the whole Imperial Court to continue watching how terrible I am at being a noble lady. If I had more time before the quest, I'd take lessons to get better at etiquette. However, with the way this situation has unfolded, I'll have to focus only on improving my archery and horseback riding skills. Besides, the future of the Empire doesn't depend on me knowing which fork to use for salad. But it certainly does hang on me using the golden bow properly. Okay, we're still going. All right. I'm walking down the corridor towards the apartment where my family is staying when I hear someone running behind me. Celeste. Oh, wait, no, that wasn't his voice. He had the accent right. Celeste. Right. Levy calls me by my first name like he always does when it's just him and Celeste. It's something the two of them agreed to do when they were younger. Levy stops before me and looks me up and down. Where have you been? I didn't notice when you left the throne room. You're not supposed to go anywhere without me. Father's orders, I know. I just forgot. I realize I haven't been thinking about how Levy would feel if I suddenly disappeared. Yet again. I'm not concerned about failing to follow his orders. I'm genuinely worried about you. He blushes and looks away. My heartbeat quickens. Why, though? Celeste has no romantic feelings toward Levy. But do I? Maybe. I'm gonna go with yes. I must admit he's very handsome and kind, and he's my favorite character from the book. Am I that much of a simp? Probably. We all are. Listen, we all have our characters we simp for. It's fine, girl. I let out a long sigh. Levy looks back at me with a worried expression. Then he looks me up and down again. You're all right, are you not? He focuses on my face and frowns. You've been crying? He must notice my smudged makeup. I was, but I feel better. No, I haven't. I've been fine. I feel like we should admit it to him, so we're going to admit it. I was, but I feel better now. What made you cry? When I see the sincere worry on Levy's face, I want to tell him the truth. I'm just overwhelmed by suddenly becoming the Saintess, by having to carry the burden of saving the whole Empire. I look down, tears welling up in my eyes again. Also, that girl made fun of me for using the wrong fork, and I just don't like it. I would cry about that. Celeste. I look back up to see Levy staring at me with love and adoration. It hurts being on the receiving end of such feelings, knowing that they aren't really for me. No matter what happens, I know that I'll always stay by your side. I'm sorry to drag you into this quest with me. He would have been caught up in this mess anyway if he were the saint, but now he's coming along anyway as Celeste Knight. What if Levy dies protecting me? My heart feels heavy. I must do my best to get as strong as possible. Don't say that. I swore to always protect you, did I not? Back when I became your knight, remember? I recall Celeste's memory of that time. They were both 14 back then, and Levy took a knee in front of her and swore he would protect her until death did them part. That sounds more like we got married. Okay. He made his vow with such sincerity and fervor. Yet I'm not the one whom he swore to always stay beside. That person was Celeste, so he should be free of the oath since Celeste is kinda dead. I can't tell him the truth, though. On the spur of a moment, I gestured toward Levy. Lean down, please. You're too tall. Too tall for what? Levy gives me a puzzled look, but complies with my request. Aww, that's cute. It's a cute little CG. There's a lot, I'll say, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. There's a lot of CGs, especially in the beginning part. I don't know how it goes for the rest of the game, but there's a lot of CGs, so that's awesome. I press up on my toes and kiss him on the cheek, not as Celeste, but as Celine, because I genuinely feel grateful to him and don't know how else to express myself right now.
Celeste?
The stuttering was good, I like it. Abby blushes a deep red and gets flustered. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking of the stuttering. That's good. Only when I lean back and smile at him do I realize I shouldn't be doing something so intimate to a man who loves the woman who once inhabited this body. I might be sending him the wrong message.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I just wanted to express my gratitude.
I let out a sigh.
You always do your very best to protect me. Thank you, Levi.
Okay, they're going with Levi. Okay. All right, so now we know. Now we know I've been saying it wrong the whole time. I wasn't sure which version they were going with, okay? Like, I don't know. So,
You're welcome, but it's my job to take care of you.
I know you're not doing it just because it's your job.
that sounded a little. It's just because it's your job. That came out sounding so ridiculously sexy and like sultry. Like, I know you're not doing it just because it's your job. I don't know if they meant for that. That's so funny though. So Levi. Okay. Levi gives me a startled look. Sorry that I've been saying it wrong the whole game. I wasn't sure. I don't know. I turn around and start walking toward my room before he can reply. Let's go, Levi. We need to rest. Training starts tomorrow. It's going to be very hard to switch. And now this will probably be the end, and, like, I won't have needed to switch. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so, whatever. Thank you for playing the Saintess of the Golden Bow demo. Stay tuned for more updates in the near future. Okay, so, alright, then this was just a longer than normal part, 2 parts. I mean, if I had kind of known, I guess we could have made the first part a little bit longer. This one was just going to be... Now I'm not sure how long it actually is going between when I messed up my audio and, like, now. But, yeah, so... That's what... Anyway, this was actually... I liked this. This was good. The art reminds me, like I said, for some reason it gives me Cinderella Phenomenon vibes, so that's kind of cool. The amount of CGs, just even in the demo, was, like, astounding. So, like, here for that. That's always very nice. And for people, now I know it's only voiced on the CG scenes, but I know a lot of people like games where the main character is voiced, and we don't get that in, like, standard Otome games. They usually don't voice the main character. So even though this is only partially voiced, if you are someone who likes having the main character voiced, well, here you go. She gets voiced as well. So that's props for the people who like that. I don't normally mind because, like, I am a self-inserter, but in cases like this where you're playing the character and you can't, like, change your name and make it awkward, then, you know, voiced or not, to me, it doesn't make a difference. You know what I mean? I'm not like, I love it, I need it. It doesn't matter to me, but if you're one of those people that absolutely loves that, then here you go. Again, it's only partially, but still. They have a ton of CGs, so you're going to be getting, as you've noticed, a lot of voice-acted sections, so I think that's a decent trade-off for it only being partially voice-acted, is that you're getting, it's not like you're only getting, like, 1 or 2 CGs here and there. You seem to be getting a lot of them. So I'm going to assume the rest of the game kind of follows suit. And I actually thought the writing was really good. Like, I didn't notice any, like, weird typos or anything like that. And it flowed very nicely. It was very, like, worded quite well. Like, it flowed really well. Like, the writing was really good. So, like, impressed by that, you know? So, and like I mentioned in the first part, if you are interested, I'm going to be leaving in the 2 videos the link below for the Steam page. It's not available, obviously, yet, but you can wishlist it on Steam. There will also be a link to the Kickstarter page. It is in... I don't believe the Kickstarter is open yet, but if you're interested, the Kickstarter link will be there for you to save it, flag it, whatever, for when the updates come. And I know on the Steam page, they also have links to their other social media and stuff like that. So you can go on the Steam page and find that and follow them on their different platforms and things like that, whichever platform you have. But I hope you enjoyed this. I actually had a lot of fun. So thank you, Anna, for reaching out and asking me if I'd be interested in playing the demo, because I had a lot of fun. So thank you for that. And thank you for giving me the code to play the demo. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. So I will see you guys around in other things. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.